Okay, I just sent that one, so you should have it. I think everything else you probably have, or it's in the packet. And I have mail in my car, so I'm gonna run down to my car and get it while you can start without me.
All right. Well, I guess we've got 6:30, so we can call to order the Finance Committee meeting Tuesday, July 12th. We've got a quorum present in here, and with communications, we want to welcome, this is Dave Thomas that's down on the end. Is that right, Dave?
That's right.
Perfect, yep.
Welcome, Dave.
He's joined the committee, thankfully. Thank you. It's always good to have other, more eyes looking at all of these sorts of issues that we've got here. Does anybody else have any other communications?
We don't have the WSTO video feed. I don't know if that was mentioned before I got on here.
You say that again, Ben? We got half of what you said.
We don't have the video feed of the room for WSTO account, or I'm not sure if that's intended.
All right, we'll work on that.
In the meantime, I can hear you though.
Okay. All right, we'll work on getting the video feedback.
Do you have the agenda?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
All right,
Video
aside
feed.
from-
I don't know if that was mentioned before I got on here.
Aside from checking on the video feed, any other communications from members? All right, and we don't have the reports for the first meeting in the month, and we will see those then in the second meeting of the month. So we'll catch up with those then. Then I would entertain a motion to approve the minutes from the June 28th finance meeting.
So moved.
Second.
All right, motion and second. Does anyone have any other questions, edits, anything else out of those minutes? All right, all in favor, aye.
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 And are any opposed? All right, minutes are accepted then. Then we have the American Rescue Plan Act, ARPA recap and presentation calendar.
Well, for the fiscal recap, there's no change from the last one. Presentation calendar, we've got now 5 items on for tonight. And I've got 4 for the 26th, July 26th. I've got two scheduled for August 9th, and I just got an email for another organization on August 9th, so they keep coming in.
All right. Well, the news must be trickling out there about get your stuff ready. And
Yep.
Mayor Ben was saying that the WSTO feed isn't coming in. Did that change at all, Ben, or is that still out?
Still no picture.
Got it. All right, Mayor's gonna have a look at that. All right, thanks for the recap on that ARPA plan, Dave. Then an update regarding the Fund 248 revolving loan fund.
Okay. This is a error I caught in the books under modified accrual accounting, which most governmental funds use. You can only recognize revenue when you've received it or anticipate to receive it in the next 60 to 90 days. Well, revolving loan fund is gonna be paid years in the future, so we've overstated the fund balance by $164,000. So I'm gotta make that, correction in calendar year '22. So I just wanted to call that to your folks' attention so that you're aware of it. Doesn't change anything. We've still got the receivable. That receivable is just deferred revenue. We're technically a deferred inflow of resources.
Is this mostly just to classify it correctly?
Classify it correctly for the appropriate financial statements, yep.
Got it. So there'll be no impact to budget or anything like that?
Correct.
Got it.
The only impact would be is if, because we've got, the book showed $273,000 in fund balance. If the RDA said, okay, we want to loan out $273,000, it's like, no, you've only got $105,000 in cash. That's all you can loan out.
Right, right.
So that's really the only effect.
Okay. All right, anybody have any questions on that one? Looks like just a clarification. All right. And you don't need any action on that, Dave, that's just
No, that informational only.
information, got it. All right, so next is the discussion and possible action regarding the delinquent room taxes, True by Hilton.
Okay, True by Hilton for the last quarter of '21, they were 59 days late making their payment. And they were also delinquent for first quarter. I had warned them mid-June. I said, if you're not paying in full by June 24th, we're doing interest back to March 31st as the ordinance required. They finally paid it 66 days late. Technically, and I wanted to see how this committee felt, I kind of looked at that first quarter where they were, the fourth quarter paid in first quarter where they were 59 days late. It's like, okay, that's your warning. Don't do this again. Technically, under the ordinance, I should go back and charge them interest. Now, with that said, we're also involved in a lawsuit with them, so I didn't want to push too hard. So I guess if the committee wants me to charge interest, I can, and then you'd have to make a motion to that effect. Otherwise, we can just leave it as status quo.
Go ahead, Reg.
So the pending amount then is the 11,387.
They paid the 11,387.62 late. They paid it 66 days late. They also paid by credit card, so they paid a convenience fee on top of that. And then I sent them an invoice for the $348 in interest.
Okay, so we're only talking about the 348.
No, the 348 is interest. That one I've charged them for.
Okay.
It's the above one line above, the 19,856 that they paid late. Technically, I should have interest on that too if I'm going to follow the ordinance.
All right, so right now, the room tax is current, is what you're saying.
Right now, they are current with the exception of the 348.18
Except for the
in interest.
348. Okay.
However, it is July 12th. I don't know if they're going to pay what they owe for second quarter in 20 days, 19 days. We'll have to see.
So that's due at the end of the month.
That's due at the end of the month following the quarter, so July 31st, the next payment's due.
And if they, of course, that won't be subject to interest at that point either, though, will it? It has to.
Well, once they don't pay it by July 31st, they will have to be assessed interest, and I'm not going to forgive any more late payments. You know, I'm going to be charging them interest.
Okay.
So if they pay August 1st, I have to charge them interest back to July 1st from the ordinance.
How about if we I don't know if the committee would accept this or not, but how about if we held off on the interest until, to see if they pay on time, and if they pay on time, fine. If they don't, then we charge them, we make sure that interest gets paid plus the interest on the late pay, the late.
I wouldn't charge interest if they paid on time.
If they paid on time, then.
If they pay on time, then
But I
they
mean-
wouldn't owe anything for second quarter.
Second quarter, but that would still leave this outstanding 348.
Yeah, they still owe the 348.
That's what I'm saying, is then we would just forgive that, basically.
Oh, you'd like to forgive that if they make the
If
second
they-
quarter
if they-
payment?
If they make the second quarter payment on time, then we just let it go.
I don't
We've already
agree.
forgiven one.
No, we haven't forgiven
Yeah,
anything
yeah,
yet, have we?
I think that's Dave's.
Yeah, I did forgive them the payment that was due January 31st.
Right.
So the question is whether or not, we're looking at the 19,855, you know, whether or not we want to go back and charge interest on that or consider
Right,
that
that-
the warning, and then, so I think going forward, there is no more. The question is on that line item for the 19,855.
Right, that's kind of how I looked at it, but Greg, if I'm understanding right, you're saying what they would normally owe by July 31st of this year, if they pay that by that date, you want to forgive the 348.18 in interest.
I'd be willing to, 348 is not all that much money, and it's, you know.
Okay, and,
This is a goodwill thing,
okay, and I guess,
but, you know, it's up to the rest of the council if they're.
I disagree. They've already been late and forgiven once, and this is money they collect every time somebody pays for their room, right?
correct,
So they should have that money sitting in a fund, the due date,
right,
like any other hotel. You pay it when you check out, you're paying that tax.
right
They're
then and
sitting there
there.
with that money.
Yep. So they're using it for other purposes, for cash flow.
Their cash flow is, yeah, okay. So, but I guess my question would be then, are any of the other hotels in town having this issue?
No,
Okay. Then I would agree with Ozzy.
Yeah, I'm inclined to leave that first quarter payment alone. There's your gimme, and then the rest of them, like, nope, I mean, we got a due date for a reason, so.
okay,
Yeah, and I mean, I think, you know, you alluded to this, that's, you know, that was your warning, and that was your, you know, fair warning, but now you clearly understand that, you know, when they're due, and we're not gonna forgive any future. That's kinda how I feel about it.
Mhm.
Do you need a motion on that, then?
I think we just leave it as a status quo then, right? We're not.
yeah, status quo,
Okay,
yeah.
because it is
Because
already.
we didn't have a second for years anyway, so,
I didn't make a motion, I was just
oh, you were just asking?
thinking,
Okay,
throwing something up against the wall, see if it stuck.
gotcha.
And it didn't.
Okay,
All right.
other than that, I did not have anything to bring up.
You want that in a motion, Dave, to just,
I don't think we need a motion then.
If you want to put it in a motion, you can. It would just affirm what I did. It's totally up to you guys.
I think maybe let's just run one just saying that we discussed it and we're gonna stick with our status quo. That's it. So I'd entertain a motion for that.
Moved.
I'll second.
All right. Are there any other questions, any clarity on what we did here with that?
So the motion is just to affirm.
Motion is just to affirm what our policy is going forward with it. All right, if no questions, then all in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye.
And are any opposed?
Did we have a second on that?
We did, it was
Yes.
Greg.
Okay.
I got it.
All right, that motion carries then. But that one isn't that's not a up to council one, that one's just a committee action one, right?
I would assume so. I would think finance has authority over it.
I think, and not a large dollar value one, all we're doing is affirming what our policy states, so.
Yep.
Right.
Okay. Next item up is time-sensitive item, resolution to amend the Dane County Urban County Consortium contract. That's a mouthful.
We just thought it would be, we do have the mayor's signature on the document already, but seeing as we've got until, I believe, tomorrow to send everything in, we thought it would be good to have the council affirm everything. There, if you look at the language in the contract, there's a lot of federal legislature that we say we're going to adhere to. I'm assuming it's no problem, but probably just good to have the authority to do it.
Yeah, the biggest thing is if we don't agree to it, we won't be eligible for some of the CBGB grants. So that's basically, why they're asking us to sign it. And I know the city attorney always feels more comfortable if we at least run it through the process whenever available, which they didn't really give us a whole lot of time to turn this around, but since they gave us enough time, we felt we might as well bring it.
Yep.
And you can see some of the examples that are bolded, and like Habitat or Moving Out or Project Home, which are typically organizations that are helping with affordable housing, either projects or remodel of homes. So I think it would be advantageous for us to approve it. We may not necessarily write one of those grants, but at least this way we have the option.
Why did this come before finance?
But in monetary impact?
I think because it's grants, it's money.
Okay.
And put it this way, if finance didn't do it, who else would? Because it's got to get approved tonight.
I make a motion that we...
Yeah, we can take that up with the county executive when he comes to the council meeting if you'd like. Fine.
What was the
I
change?
make a motion to recommend to council.
Second.
All right. My question of it was, what did they change in there that they were looking for? I was unclear as to exactly what.
If you look at the last page labeled Amendment to Cooperative Agreement, those are the provisions that they're adding. So we're
Oh, okay.
Title I of the Housing and Community Development Act, Civil Rights Act, Fair Housing Definitions and Certifications, a lot of alphabet soup there.
I see. I thought that was already within the agreement, and I was looking for like a red line or something on it, or, okay. All right, no worries. We have a motion and a second then. Does anybody have any other questions on this one? All right, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
And are any opposed? All right, we'll recommend that one to council tonight. Next bit up is the special assessments against the benefited properties for 2022.
And my understanding is this is kind of a standard procedure. We had done the preliminary one back in, it doesn't give a date, it looks like March or April by the resolution number. But this is standard every year for who pays, where the work is being prescribed to do so.
Yep, we looked at it February 22nd and went through council on March 8th.
This sets the stage for the public hearing that'll be held at the next meeting. After the public hearing, council would actually take action on this resolution. So this is the Finance Committee's opportunity to make a recommendation on the resolution prior to council action following the public hearing on the 26th.
I just had a question.
Go ahead, Lisa.
Rodney, I think I know the answer, but I'm just confirming the Giles Street, Lynn street west to Dead End is not gonna have a sidewalk, but it's included because it's part of the reconstruction. Am I right about that?
Yeah, I don't think there's any, not for that particular property, those particular properties, I don't believe there's any sidewalk assessments to those properties, but sidewalks are included overall as part of the resolution.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
And Rodney, just a quick one. I had somebody ask me today as far as the timetable for the Silverado one because of all the other construction in that area. Do you know that off the top of your head?
Yeah, so actually they've started, I believe they've already started doing curb and gutter and sidewalk replacement. The street's still open for traffic. And actually when our pavement work will be undertaken on the area south of the roundabout, you'll be able to get to the medical clinic and the SWAC via the roundabout project area.
Okay, yeah, I think that's kind of the concern is it's kind of a mess out there, which we knew it would be, but they just wanted to see what the coordination was between the local and the DOT project.
What date did he say that was gonna happen?
I believe, Rodney, you said Silverado started already?
Yeah, Silverado, I think they've started to do or are planning to start sidewalk and curb and gutter replacement. The pulverization work hasn't been slated for a date yet.
And then how about the roundabout there? Are they all three going to be done in October, or do you anticipate one will be done sooner than the others?
They're still on schedule to have all three done by October 15th. I've not heard of any staggered start date for any of them yet.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, anybody have any other questions on this resolution? Do you have one, Ozzy?
Nope.
Oh, all right. All right, I would entertain a motion to recommend this one.
I make a motion, recommend it to council.
All right.
Second.
Second by Ben. Any questions, further discussions? I know this is a topic that we do hold for future agenda items yet on how we deal with special assessments, but this one is in progress until we can get that discussion happening. All right. All right, with a motion and a second, all in favor, aye?
I,
And are any opposed? All right, that motion there, we'll recommend that resolution to council. Then that is through our business, and we are into future agenda items. Like say, I alluded to the special assessments one and fund balance policy, and potential boundary amendment for TID 6. And we'll have the June Finance Department reports in the next meeting. Does anyone else have anything that they wish to add to future agenda items? We'll still chase down that one revolving loan fund that we've been talking, or we can't pinpoint exactly when that was. Anyway, we'll figure that one out also. No other suggestions, then I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So move.
Motion by Greg.
Second.
Second. That was Ben, right?
Yep.
Got it, okay. Any other questions, comments? All right, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, thanks, everybody.
6 minutes to spare.
Yep, not too bad.
Easy peasy, right?